Hey, ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be part 3 to What If Naruto Was Scorpion. In the last part, we left off with Naruto going through and pretty easily defeating Haku and Zabuza at the same time before they ended up having to run away. He faced them again, he easily defeated Haku, and Kakashi killed Zabuza. They went back to the village, and once they got to the village, they stayed there for a while, did some training and different things like that, before Kakashi eventually would recommend them to do the Chunin exams. After starting the Chunin exams, Naruto would pretty easily ace literally everything on the written exams, getting the highest score literally ever, and the Forest of Death would begin. So with that being said, let's get started. Naruto and the rest of Team 7 would be running into the actual forest itself, and the start of it would go relatively normally. Everybody would be doing their things, and Naruto would be having to go to the bathroom. So he would go to the bathroom before a giant snake would begin to basically attack him. Naruto would finish up with his business, and he would disappear. He would reappear basically on top of the snake and slam his flame sword into the snake's head, instantly killing it. He then runs back over to where Sasuke is, and he sees Sasuke giving somebody a code. The code is actually right for, Orochimaru knows the code, and Sasuke doesn't think much of this because, again, Naruto is insanely smart, and Sasuke doesn't actually know this, but Naruto has, literally photographic memory, so he would be pretty easily be able to remember that. So, with that, he would just kind of casually walk with Orochimaru, disguised as Naruto. Naruto would walk over now, and he'd be like, "Hey, what's going on over here, guys?" And everybody would turn around. Orochimaru would be like, "He killed my snake?" And Orochimaru would jump back now, realizing that his plan isn't exactly going to work that he thought it would. He thought he was just going to be able to easily get friendly with Sasuke and then put the curse mark on him, but apparently he's going to have to use a little bit more force than he was anticipating to have to do. So with that, he kind of just jumps back and he gets ready to fight the 3 Genin. So Naruto, being just as confident as ever, he would basically challenge Orochimaru to a one-on-one fight. And it would actually be going relatively well for him. He would teleport over behind Orochimaru and he would be about to cut him, but obviously Orochimaru wouldn't be caught off guard by that, so he would actually just dodge out of the way, but he would be impressed by the speed that Naruto has and the fact that he can literally teleport. He just thought that was a little odd for a literal Genin to be able to do, just because, again, he's a Genin. He shouldn't be able to do stuff like that. So Naruto would shoot the chain kunai out of his hand towards Orochimaru, and Orochimaru would actually dodge out of the way, but as he was dodging out of the way, he got distracted. He was looking at the kunai with the chain on it, and he's wondering exactly what it was, and when he looks back over at Naruto, he sees that Naruto is literally mere inches away from his face, with a sword about to impale his gut. Orochimaru leaps backwards, and he's, again, surprised by the speed that Naruto just showed, because he only looked away for, the briefest of moments. And Orochimaru is now looking at Naruto, and he's like, he's strong. He's stronger than most Jonin. This is going to be interesting. And he continues his fight with Naruto, and yeah, it goes like that for a pretty decent amount of time, with Naruto not really using all of his different abilities because he didn't really see he needed to. He just kind of uses the same ones back to back, just trying to end Orochimaru quickly because he's just kind of bored. He doesn't really care that much about this fight right now. So Naruto would summon 2 of the swords and he would begin dual wielding. Continuing on with his fight with Orochimaru, he'd be going at insanely fast speeds with insanely good sword techniques, at least for what Orochimaru thinks, because again, this kid is 12 years old and he's matching most insanely probably 20 years of experience people, swords masters. And he's just kind of casually doing this, but he has the physical strength and speed to actually, back up the techniques that he's using, and it's actually challenging Orochimaru a pretty great deal. And Orochimaru is actually kind of impressed by this, so he decides that he's gonna not suppress himself anymore, and he's going to try to give not only Sasuke, but Naruto as well a curse mark. So he would give Sasuke a curse mark, basically knocking him out and laying him on the ground, and he would try to do the same to Naruto. but that won't really work all too well. He stretches out his neck, not really suppressed anymore, going at full speed, but to his surprise, as he's about to bite down on Naruto's neck, his head is chopped off. Orochimaru has to, like, vomit out his own body to, survive that attack, and he's like, I was going full speed, and he still managed to not only react, but cut my head off. And now he just kind of begins fighting with Naruto again, because again, this kid's impressive. He really wants his body now. Like, he has insanely good, like, potential. Like, he can be absurdly powerful with this kid's body. So he really wants this. So he's just trying to weaken Naruto to the point where he wouldn't be able to pretty much do anything to the fact that when Orochimaru tried to, like, put the curse mark on him. But Naruto's immense amounts of stamina would not really allow Orochimaru to weaken him to the point, because they're pretty much fighting, like, even terms, kind of like how Hiruzen and Orochimaru are fighting, except it's a little bit slower. Like, they're on the same level around, but Naruto or Orochimaru can't really do any actual damage to Naruto, because then anytime he tries to, Naruto either just easily cuts off his head or basically dodges out of the way, stopping him from doing so. And Orochimaru is actually taking more damage than what Naruto is. So Orochimaru once again unsuppresses himself, realizing that he's probably not just going to accidentally kill this kid if he's not suppressed, and he now lunges towards Naruto. He is outspeeding Naruto at this point. Like, Naruto's strong, but, like, he's not legendary Sannin level at the age of 12, so it's like, so he's not really doing that well anymore in this fight. And he actually gets knocked out with a neck chop by Orochimaru. And with this, Orochimaru is about to put the curse mark on him, but this was just a, basically, not gag moment, but, like, a little strategy that Naruto had, as he now basically seemingly wakes up, and he impales his sword straight through Orochimaru's chest. Orochimaru looks down, and then he's like, you gotta be kidding me, right? Before basically just using the body flicker to get out of there, because he's like, whatever, I can do it later. Or he's like, I don't even know if I need to do the curse mark at this point. I could just, like, let him get stronger and then do the body swap. Like, that's how strong this kid is already. Like, with Sasuke, he needed to give him the curse mark so he could go to Orochimaru, and then Orochimaru could strengthen his body so he didn't have to, like, train himself. So he's like, this kid literally is already just as strong as my physical body is, so I don't know if I really need to get him a curse mark in the first place. So he's like, whatever, I'll let him go. He can do his thing for a while. So they go and hide under the tree, just kind of waiting for Sasuke to recover from his fight, or not really his fight, but him getting the curse mark, and the Sound Genin would attack. Naruto would basically hear them coming, and he would be pretty much just sitting outside waiting for them when they finally arrived. The three of them would be like, they're cocky, kind of like how they were doing to, like, Lee or Sakura or anybody like that. They're like, you stand absolutely no chance. There's three of us, and we're individually probably stronger than you are. So Naruto's like, sure you are, as he just smiles before disappearing from their sights, with almost all of them being, like, instantly knocked out, leaving only one of them left. It's the really cocky one. What the frick is his name? He is the one that Sasuke ended up, like, almost ripping the arms off of, and he's just standing there in fear, completely unable to move from the amount of fear he's feeling right now, and he's like, what are you? How are you even this strong? What's happening right now? He's just like, fuck. And he gathers up his teammates before leaving, after obviously Naruto would take his scroll. So they end up finishing the Forest of Death, and they do it a little bit quicker than they do in the original, and they leave with Sasuke waking up eventually, so yeah. So they head to the end of the Forest of Death, and this is where Lee would challenge Naruto and Sasuke. He actually challenges Sasuke first, and this is where Sasuke, for the first time actually, due to Lee's raw speed, actually awakens his Sharingan at this point. Because he never awakened it in any earlier fight, because he never really fought with Orochimaru in the first place, and he didn't fight with Haku and awaken it. He probably would have awakened it with his fight against Orochimaru, but that was really only Naruto fighting. He kind of just, like, sat there, and Orochimaru eventually just gave him a curse mark kind of a thing. So he finally does awaken the Sharingan at this point, and yeah. Yeah. So he would Lee would turn around and he would actually challenge Naruto, and Naruto would be like, if you really want to fight me, fine. And he squares up against Lee now. Lee would lunge at Naruto, and Naruto just casually block him. And he would be doing absolutely nothing to Naruto right now, because Naruto's hand-to-hand combat is, like, absurdly off the charts compared to Lee with his weights on. Lee would eventually take his weights off, realizing that he can basically stop training for at least a little bit, and he now increases his speed by an insanely great margin, and he still continues to lunge and do things to Naruto, but still, Naruto is pretty easily able to react to the speed that Lee is going at, casually blocking all of his punches before punching him with one single punch, sending him flying against a wall unconscious. My guy was watching this, and he's like, who are you? He's like, how are you so strong? Why are you so powerful with taijutsu? And Naruto would just be like, I don't know, I guess I trained. But this guy would be like, the youth spirit is strong within inside of you, young man. And Naruto's like, okay, you do you, guy. And he'd leave now, basically going to where the actual, like, Chunin exams battles would begin. So he would fight Kiba. He would absolutely decimate Kiba in their fight with absolutely no difficulty. Sasuke would still fight the chakra-absorbing guy, but Sasuke can't use jutsu, so there's no point. There's no point in him being able to absorb jutsu, because Sasuke isn't using any jutsu. So Sasuke would still manage to defeat him with a pretty great deal of difficulty, just because, like, it's still hard for him to do so, but he would have been probably training harder from his childhood, because, again, Naruto's, like, really fucking strong, and Sasuke knows he's, like, a lot stronger than him, especially now, so he's probably going to train even harder than what he did before. So, now, the rest of the fights go pretty similarly, except Naruto gained not a liking towards Hinata from being on his team, but more of, like, I guess you could say he wanted to defend her when Neji did his whole thing. So, right when Neji was about to deal the finishing blow to Hinata, Naruto just appeared in front of him. His hand, or, like, fire was literally bursting out of Naruto at this point just because of how pissed he was, and he was now basically squeezing Neji's hand. Neji was looking at Naruto and looking back at his hand and realizing that his hand was literally almost broken. And he'd be like, what are you doing down here? And Naruto would just look at him now. His eyes completely full of rage, just suppressing the emotions that he's feeling right now, suppressing the urge to just kill him. And he releases his hand before leaving without saying a single word. So, he basically is just going to take out that anger that he has towards Neji when he actually ends up fighting him in the finals. So, with that, they have I'm pretty sure it's 1 month gap before the actual finals of the Chunin exams, and that goes relatively normally. Naruto would go and he would train with, the fuck is his name? He would go and he'd train with Jiraiya. So, Naruto during this time would actually end up learning the Shadow Clone Jutsu, as well as the Summoning Jutsu. Just because I feel like he never actually ended up learning the Shadow Clone Jutsu, so that's just going to make him insanely overpowered, because, like, imagine, like, 50 of this overpowered, like, Naruto just charging at somebody like Gaara. Like, that's just hilarious to think about, because, like, there's no way they're going to be able to do anything to him. So Neji would start his fight, or his beating, with Naruto, and Naruto, he would not be taking this fight seriously. He'd just be slamming Neji around the, basically, arena, completely decimating him with absolutely no difficulty whatsoever. Neji would use his rotation. Naruto would just simply put his hand inside of the rotation, completely canceling it out. He would then summon a basically vortex of fire around Neji, basically heating Neji up. Neji sits inside of this vortex for about 2 minutes before Naruto finally releases the actual jutsu, revealing Neji to be there in like a pool of sweat on the ground, like completely unconscious with burn marks half across his body. Everybody would be like, he just easily defeated with absolutely no difficulty the Hyuga fucking prodigy. Who is this kid? So the rest of the fights would go basically the same, and Sasuke obviously would have still gotten the curse mark sealed away by Kakashi, so things like that go relatively normally. Sasuke would still end up fighting Gaara. Gaara would basically transform into the One-Tails, and he would still do the normal things, and the Sand Ninja would start attacking. Obviously, everything like that goes, or everything around, like, the Sound Ninja attacking would go literally exactly the same. The only thing that would be different is that Naruto would not be caught by the Genjutsu, and he would go and he would fight with Gaara as well as Sasuke. So, Sasuke is there fighting with Gaara before Naruto eventually shows up. Hinata is also there, and she's still basically in, like, Sakura's position where she's, like, captured. Naruto would tell Sasuke to actually just protect Hinata, and he would now face off against Gaara. So, with that, their battle would basically commence. Naruto would use the Shadow Clone Jutsu, he would make 3 clones of himself, making there be 4 Narutos, and he would then charge at Gaara. This is going to be a really one-sided fight. So, obviously, Gaara would get, like, rage to the point and, like, excited to the point where he would turn into the actual, like, One-Tails itself. Naruto, he would not have to summon Shukaku. Or, not Shukaku, Gamabunta? Yeah, Gamabunta. He would not need to go that far. All he would have to do is jump on top of Gaara now with his immense speed, wake him up with a simple chop to the neck, and then he would slam his fist into Gaara's neck, knocking him out once again. I don't think that just because Gaara, like, fell asleep, like, he didn't get, like, I don't think him getting knocked out actually, like, awakened Shukaku. I don't think that's how it works. So he would just easily, like, basically just one-shot Gaara, like, with absolutely no difficulty. Like, Shukaku couldn't even see Naruto move because he can teleport. And he would have absolutely no difficulty taking down the One-Tails. Like, literally none whatsoever. So with that, Orochimaru would still end up going and killing the third Hokage, but getting his arms sealed. So, Jiraiya and Naruto would still go, and they would end up getting Tsunade, and that fight would go relatively similarly, except Naruto would have no difficulty whatsoever with fighting Kabuto. They would bring Tsunade back to the village, and things like that go relatively the same, and Sasuke still ends up leaving to strive for more power. Because not only is Naruto a hell of a lot stronger than him, but he still needs to basically take down his brother. So, with that being said, that's where I'm going to leave this part off, so I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace out, bye.